Welcome to Puro Pinche Sports. I'm your host, Jose Garza, and tonight I'm going to be talking about UFC 300. What a fucking card. If you didn't watch it, stop this video. Go back, hit some highlights, order the pay-per-view, worth it. The entire card, start to finish. I am talking about Deiveson Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt, all the way to Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. It is worth it. It is worth your time. Catch it. That's your free plug, UFC. You're welcome. But anyways, guys, we just got to witness one of the biggest. UFC 300 blew my mind because we had fighters go in and out and wanting it and killing it, and they did their job, and you love it because this is tonight exemplified why you're a fight fan. The UFC put together a card that originally many people didn't like. They didn't think, oh man, this is worthy of a 100th, pay-per-view card. We've seen UFC 100, we saw UFC 200, and now we got 300. And was the star power enough to, be equal to those other ones? And if you really believe in yourself when you first heard the card, you'd say no. But you go really top to bottom. You really minute every little detail, every fight that happened, that was scheduled. You're like, God damn. Almost every fight had a champion or former champion involved. We got to see banger after banger. Some snooze fest, but it's okay. I mean, it's not like that's what took over the whole card. But in the end, UFC 300 delivered maybe arguably the greatest pay-per-view from the UFC of all time. And I dead ass mean that. And with 200, we had Nunes versus Rousey. We had originally Jones versus Cormier, but it turned into Cormier versus Spider Silva. We had, I think, Lesnar and Mark Hunt. With UFC 100, we had Dan Henderson knock the fuck out Michael Bisping. We had Lesnar and Frank Mir settling their score. We had a lot of great things in those cards. But tonight, I don't know what it was, what was going on with y'all Vegas, but they turned it up. Those fighters turned it up. And I'm just going to go straight to it because it wasn't the main event, but it was the biggest thing of the night. And it was Max Holloway knocking out Justin Gaethje in their BMF title fight with 1 second to spare. In a fight and where Max Holloway came into this fight, he's only had one lightweight fight before. And that was against Dustin Poirier, and he got pieced up early on, and it never was the same for him for the fight. But tonight he walked in more crisper, more confidence, more leaner. He was bigger. He showed it. He looked good. He looked healthy. He looked like he was really prepared because remember in the last fight with Dustin Poirier, he wasn't as prepared. He only had like a month's notice, month and a half. He didn't have as much as what he would do in a normal fight card. This one, he had plenty of notice, and he got good. He got real good, ready for this 155 card, and he looked it. Going in, sticking in the jab, hitting his strikes where he need to. Not checking his leg kick. Not checking the leg kicks, though. That's one thing we need to talk about, Max, is that you need to check those kicks. But at the end of the first round, he throws in the spin kick that he's developing. It looks like he's going for the, if they duck head for the head, but he's really going for the mid. And he breaks Justin Gaethje's nose. And the whole fight from there on out is Gaethje worrying too much about his nose. His nose is bothering him. He can't breathe no more through it. It's broken. Breathe through it. Your eye gets swollen. You're basically done. It bothers him the whole fight. He's flinching. He's taking every hit possible to try to avoid not to get hit there. But he's landing. Max is landing. He's hitting him hard. It's good. So after 4 rounds, if you're really looking at the scorecard, you're thinking 3-1 Max at best, maybe 4-0 Max. But either way, Max is winning the fight. Max is winning the 5th round too. Max is doing the same thing again, and he's winning. And with 12 seconds left, he's pointing, stand in the middle with me. Let's go right now. Let's go right now. We're going to keep going. We're going to bang and fucking fight. And he doesn't need to. Max Holloway, blessed doesn't need to do that because he's already won the fight 4 rounds to 1. But he said, fuck it, let's go. Let's go right now. and they start swinging. Justin Gaethje is going tucking as much as he can. He's trying to avoid the big shot, and at the last second, with 3 seconds to spare, 2 seconds to spare, he gets clocked and he fucking falls. And Max Holloway wins, and he is your BMF champion, a title that really shouldn't exist, but he proves he's a bad motherfucker. And my God, can you believe the fight that we got to see? Not only was it a banger, was it fight of the night already before that instance, but then he goes out and drops it with a second to spare. With 1 second. He didn't need to do any of that. And he did. And it was amazing. Because Max Holloway, no one gave him a chance. If you're the 1% that believed in Max enough to say he got the chance to win, I applaud you. I wasn't one of them. I applaud you. Because Justin Gaethje is an animal. He's an animal at lightweight. For a fight at lightweight, you want to move up in the ranks and stuff like that. You want to move from divisions. Justin Gaethje is not the guy you want to go see. Justin Gaethje is a monster. Did you just see what he did to Dustin Poirier? Have you seen what he's done to his opponents? Did you see what he did to Michael Chandler? He's not a nice man. He's a vicious man. He is the reason why Tony Ferguson is the way he is now. And Max Holloway, the little Max Holloway we know, not little because he's like not tall, right? He's a bit tall. He's his eye level to Justin. But 145er, skinny, really agile, awesome fighter at 145. Chris, probably the best boxer other than Alexander Volkanovski. He moves up the ranks confidently and says, I want Justin Gaethje. I can beat him for the BMF title. I can prove that I am, without a shadow of doubt, the best striker in the game. Blessed is best. And he annihilated him, man. And I loved it. I loved it. He did such an amazing job with that. We don't take... I think Max Holloway is one of the most underrated guys in the world. He is arguably the best featherweight of all time. If you want to argue Volkanovski, I'm with you for the most part. But right now, there's a chance that Holloway might go down to featherweight and do something that Volkanovski can do, and that's beat up Topuria. Sorry. It's late at night, guys. It's like 1:30 in the morning over here in the Central Time. And Ilya was in the crowd tonight. I'll tell you what, that man shit his pants knowing he has to fight Max Holloway. I swear to God, he shit his pants when he saw what happened. The whole crowd was. You've seen the GIF reactions of Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier, and John Anik. Times 1,000. Times 1,000. The crowd was in shock. You had Valentina Shevchenko, Sugar Sean, Drekes Duplessis, you had Gilbert Burns, you had Michael Chandler, you had a list of fighters in the crowd, and they were just in disbelief that Max Holloway, again, guys, he had the fight won 4-1. It was done. He broke in Justin's nose. He poked him in the eyes twice to get both good eyes. He was crisp and he was clean and he kept, and the worst thing about for Max is that he kept taking leg kicks, and the motherfucker grew another calf on his leg. But my God, what he did to stand in the middle, give me in the middle, get to the middle of the ring with me, get to the middle of the cage, and just start throwing hands like there's no tomorrow. And for the one clean shot, it was over, and Justin face plants. Oh my God, one of the most nastiest UFC knockouts in history. If you want to compare it to something as recent, maybe the Anthony Joshua knocking out Francis Ngannou thing, it could have been worse. I mean, whatever. I mean, we've seen beautiful knockouts before. We've seen front kicks from Anderson Silva to Vitor Belfort. Recently, Michael Chandler to Tony Ferguson. We've seen some of the craziest knockouts ever. And what we just saw, I mean, Chuck Liddell getting knocked out by Rashad Evans. The list goes on. Edson Barbosa. The list goes on and on. But oh my God, what just it didn't need to happen, and it did, and it was so amazing. And Max Holloway walks out, I think, with 600K bonus because Dana White went from 50 to 300 because that fighter's desperate. Fight of the night, performance of the night, bro. Give him everyone's bonuses. That motherfucker didn't fucking work, and it shut the crowd down. Like even me who's watching the entire card, watching the fights afterwards, like the Wei Li, Zhang Wei Li and Yan fight. Everyone's focus is everyone's still worn out. Everyone's still in shock for the Max Holloway fight, and that's just how impressive everything was. You got to give your praises to Max Holloway. Give the credit to Justin Gaethje because one, he needed the knockout to even win, but two, just like he's kept going. He got knocked a few times. He got hit. He got rocked. He just kept going. He's a great fighter. He's resilient. He knows he's gonna go in to get killed or he's gonna go in to kill. And tonight he just got killed. So I give great props to both of them. For whatever's next, Justin Gaethje needs to take the rest of the year off. That was a brutal knockout, face plant, taken immediately to the hospital. Escorted out the cage real quick. Max Holloway putting out the challenge, and if you want to give me Islam, I'll take Islam. If you want to give me Ilya Topuria, give me him. You can give Max whoever he wants. And recent right now, I was listening to a brief moment Dana White on the press conference. He said he announced that it's Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier at UFC 302. Dustin Poirier's final shot. So we know it's probably going to most likely be Holloway versus Ilya Topuria. Bro. I'm sorry, Ilya. Your reaction, it was everyone's reaction, and now you have to go face that BMF. That badass motherfucker, bro. Good luck to you. Hold that title tight. Because you may be losing it real soon. I think that fight might not happen until September. Because Max obviously took some punishment tonight, like I said, with those cow kicks. It might be a September or October fight, so we'll see. But God, let's go, and we'll move on from that. But man, go watch the replay. It's everywhere. I posted everywhere on Instagram multiple times. That's just how amazing it was. It was just there was no reason for it, guys. It was just that amazing. Of like, God, if you're not an MMA fan, I don't know why you're not. Give me a reason. MMA is so fucking amazing. Boxing's amazing too. Kickboxing is amazing. Jiu-jitsu is amazing. Like, be it. Mixed martial arts is one of the best things ever to happen in this world. I swear to God. We got to see the main event, Alex Pereira. I swear to God, if Max was not on this card, that shit did not happen. What Alex Pereira did to Jamal Hill in the main event for the UFC light heavyweight title would be the number one thing. Entrance walking out, Pereira shoots an arrow, aiming at his target. Jamal Hill. Man, Jamal Hill this week, I was not feeling. He showed a lot of arrogance, too much cockiness. I get it. He was a champion that was never beaten. He got hurt, and it's not his fault. But man, this man walked in like he owned the shit, and it's just like, dude, like you're coming off a 15, 16-month layoff because of the injury. Like, respect Alex Pereira a little more, just because you've seen what that man's done. He's got this is his 8th fight in the UFC, and he's already a 2-division champion. Beating Israel Adesanya for the middleweight title. Beating Yuri Prochaska for the light heavyweight title. And yeah, maybe he's coming to fight you now and make himself the lineal champion and solidify that what he did is not a mistake, that he is a badass. And man, when I tell you Alex Pereira did not respect the fuck out of Jamal Hill kicked him in the nuts by mistake. It was so soft to Alex Pereira that Herb Dean called a timeout, walked over, was saying timeout. Alex Pereira coldly said, "No, I'm good. I got this." 2 seconds later, proceeds to fucking drop Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill's eyes went back and then kill him. And then just goes, see? He's the Lulu. He's the Lulu right now. And he fucking Alex Pereira, my God. And Alex Pereira continues to prove why he's arguably the most dangerous striker, the most powerful striker in the game right now. We just saw one of the most crisp ones in Max Holloway. But Alex Pereira, with a kickboxing background, just demolished the guy who beat up his mentor, Glover Teixeira, not that long ago. And he did it with so ease that he wants to fight at 301 next month and go up to heavyweight. So he's basically saying, Tom Aspinall, come on, let's get the smoke. Bro, get this smoke. Get the fuck out of here. Holy shit. Yo. What a card, man. What a freaking card. And those are just two of the fights. Like, the whole card was sick. Like, let me pull it up. Zhang Weili beat Yan in a decision fight. Zhang Weili got, she got tired early on. She put Yan to sleep. And the reason I just say Yan, I'm not saying the last name because I cannot say that. Zayonan? I don't want to be butchering this. So I'm just going to say Yan. But Weili literally choked. And this is a women's strawweight title fight. And she chokes her out in the first round, and she's out. I swear to God, the ref, and maybe I'm not the only one. Maybe the ref believed the two. Maybe we all thought she was still awake because her eyes looked open, but they weren't. She was asleep. Like, I'm not trying to be bad about it, but Asians usually have sometimes their eyes a little more closed. I have that with my left eye, right? I smile and the motherfucker closes completely. She was out. That fight should have ended right there. And then Weili proceeds with the second round, but as well. But her arms are noodled now. They're tired, they're exhausted. So then Yan drops to the next 2 rounds, and you're thinking, "Oh my God, we might have a new champion." And it might be controversial because she was out in the first round, but then they allowed her to come back in. The ref didn't call it. I believe it was Herzog. Sorry if I pronounce it. Again, it's 1:45 in the morning. But bro, I mean, thankfully, Weili was able to use her wrestling, her groundwork that she learned from Henry Cejudo a few years ago after she lost to Rose Namajunas, and that basically secured her the win because the final 2 rounds was basically her keeping her on the ground. So she retains. Most of the scorecard was 49-45. So yeah, that first round was basically a 10-8. I mean, she put her to sleep. In other fights, Arman Zadukan defeats Charles Oliveira in a split decision. Honestly, it was a coin flip for me too. I mean, you look at how the fight went on. Twice, Charles Oliveira in the first and the third round had Arman, in trouble, and a lot of trouble. A guillotine in the first round, a Darce choke in the third round. Charles was trying to get back to a title shot against Islam, but ends up losing in a split decision. And Arman looking good, so maybe Arman might be getting a future title shot after Poirier. We shall see. But man, it was a close fight. I wouldn't have been mad whoever they gave the win, the nod to, but the crowd wasn't happy about it. But to be honest, guys, Arman did a fucking lot of damage. The second round alone was like a beatdown. You saw that blonde hair of Charles Oliveira go fucking red real quick. And then we opened the main card with Bo Nickel defeating Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage's best thing of the night was in the end of the first round where he's holding Bo's arm and just says, yeah, "I'm okay." That's about it. But Bo Nickel basically smothered him, crushed him, and won the fight easily in the second round. Or rear naked choke, even though he booed himself. He was like, "Boo!" Like, bro, you didn't win another first round fight. It's okay. You did fucking fantastic. Bo Nickel, give yourself a little more props. You're moving up slowly, so all good. Yuri Prochaska, who had just lost to Alex Pereira, comes into this fight, dangerous fight with Alexander Rajic, and Rajic is doing such good work early on. So smart, keeping him distant, leg kicks, damaging leg kicks. Like, bro, if we're talking about how Zhang Wei Li's arms were noodles, the from second round to the whole rest of the fight. Yo, Yidi, oh my god, his legs, bro, stanky leg all the way, but Yidi pushed through, man. Like, hey, I don't give a fuck. People call him a fake samurai. That motherfucker is dangerous. I would never want to be standing near that man in a cage. Because the second he rocked Rajic, it was done. Rajic tried to run. He got smothered. He got beaten, and it was over. It was done. Yuri Prochaska not earning himself a title shot right away, because obviously he did lose to Alex Pereira, but moving his way back up. And honestly, we don't know what might happen. Alex Pereira might decide, you know what, man, I'm going to go to heavyweight. I'm going to be a 3-division champion and do some miracles. So we'll see how it goes. Aljamain Sterling moves up to featherweight, former bantamweight champion. Smothers the return of Calvin Kattar. All 3 rounds, it wasn't really much of anything. It was just more of a dominant performance from him, showing his speed, his wrestling, and just showing his smarts. Calvin Kattar is a very dangerous stand-up fighter, but that's not Aljo's specialty. And especially coming off a loss to Sugar Sean O'Malley, you need that confidence booster. And he's going to featherweight now because it's easier for him. He's getting older, neck surgeries, all this shit. Like, it's better for him. So he wants Brian Ortega next. Book it. It brings Brian Ortega. I don't see why he can't get a title shot in the future. Next fight, the debuting Kayla Harrison. Oh my god. Did Holly Holm get a strike? I think she only got 1 hit in. But other than that, Kayla Harrison just dominated her with the 2 rounds she got in there with her and just beat the bejeebus out of her. And Holly Holm, much respect to her, legend of the game, what she did in her boxing days, what she did in the UFC, in her MMA days. We'd never forget what she did to Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey says she's always had concussions in every fight. She even went to that fight. Nah. She gave you a concussion. That's the reason why you went to WWE and failed miserably. Kayla Harrison just looked so good. So good in this fight. Just complete control. Was never really in danger. Completely kept Holly under her back, and then eventually just took her back, choked her out with a rear naked choke, and just impressive. And if Dana White comes out and says Kayla Harrison's going to get an immediate title shot, I'm not fucking surprised. No offense to Raquel Pennington. That title needs to go to somebody who's going to be very entertaining and very. And Raquel's been she's been winning her fights. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but if you watch that fight where Raquel won, you're just like, why? Why did we have you guys, you ladies, as a fight? The fight to watch in the future, whenever it does happen, will be Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. That'll be the fight. And I know Amanda Nunes teased like, oh, Kayla, you want to call me out? Amanda, you're retired. Enjoy retirement. Enjoy being a mom. Enjoy that beautiful family you have. You could come out, but I also don't want you to come out when you're already retired. You already hung up the gloves, and then you get finished again. Something like that. We don't need to see that. Amanda, you're the greatest woman fighter of all time. That's not undeniable. Kayla Harrison is trying to prove herself. She's still hungry. She wants to keep going. She wants to be at your level. So if you ever do take that fight, good on you. Show the world the lioness is still the queen. But Kayla Harrison's on the rise right now. She's 33. She doesn't have the time to be like, lollygagging. She wants to go in there, use the rest of her prime days to fucking go out and dominate. And I think she can. Diego Lopez out here uppercutting Sadiq Yusuf, bro. 1 minute 29 TKO in the first round. Done. Like, get out of here. Lopez, oh my God. Just uppercut, drops him, finishing. Sadiq able to get back up. Uppercut again, dropped. Oh, it's over. Diego Lopez continuing to young man, 29 years old. 30 fights in. I mean, and I say young only because he's only had 4 UFC fights. But he's going to be moving up in the rankings real quick. And again, another great fight, right? And I told Moicano, Oh my God, he defeats Jalen Turner in the second round, TKO punches. Jalen Turner had this beautiful left hand where he drops Moicano, but it's a knockdown. But he walks away like he already won. Like ref call it, it's over. Moicano instantly gets back up. Herb is like, "What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what are we doing here?" And Turner gets too cocky, and Moicano goes in the second round, takes him down, grounds and pounds, beats him up, and then takes the win. Money Moicano, bro. Like, Jalen Turner, I know you have had some good fights here, but my guy, the arrogance you had, that is so horrible. It looks so bad on you, bro. That you are the Shaqtin' a Fool of this fight card. That was so stupid. Don't try to be braggadocious. Don't be cocky. Show some respect to your opponent. You didn't finish him. You didn't do anything spectacular. And you paid for it. And you lost tonight. Please, Jalen, do better. That's all I gotta say. Jessica Andrade defeats Marina Rodriguez in a split decision. Coin flip. I wasn't gonna be mad whoever won that fight. It was whatever. It was a Bobby Green destroys Jim Miller. Bro, someone scored it 30-25. I was either 2-10-8 or 1-10-7. Oh my God, someone scored it that low. Jim Miller, man, pioneer of the sport. Was never the guy, but he just went out there and always fought. And he fought at UFC 100, fought UFC 200, wanted to be on the 300 card. Just faced off a ferocious Bobby Green tonight. A very hungry Bobby Green. Bobby Green is one of those guys who goes up and down, but he just never underestimated him. I don't think Jim Miller did. But tonight he went in there and he went on a mission. And at the end of the third, the ref really could have called it. It was bad. Jim Miller did not have his eyes open, at least from the video and the pictures I've seen. He did not have his eyes open when they were the judges were declaring the winner and all that stuff. When Bruce Buffer was up there giving the scorecard. But and Deiveson Figueiredo choking out Cody Garbrandt, former champions. One flyweight, the other one bantamweight. They went at it. They opened the card. 2 rounds in, Deiveson Figueiredo doing things that he wants to do so he can move up and become a bantamweight title challenger. And he thinks he's already ready for a title fight. 2 fights in the bantamweight, bro. Come on, man. I mean, you didn't beat ranked fighters, like respectfully. Like I think the first fight he did, but it wasn't like, come on, dude. He wasn't like fight a top 5 guy first, top 3, then get a title shot. You know, it just depends. You know what the UFC feels, but overall, UFC 300 was a banger. Max Holloway again. He walked away with the 600 K tonight. He was fight of the night and performance of the night. Justin Gaethje gets 300 for fight of the night, and Yuri Prochaska gets 300. Dana White said he's gonna take care of all of them. Do it, please. They deserve it. They fucking work those. I'm telling you, UFC, you can afford this. This is not a problem with you. But when you have an incentive like this, where you raise it from 50K to 300K, this is why your fighters fought hard tonight to get that title shot. Not the title shot, I mean, to get that bonus. 50K is a life changer, don't get me wrong. Like, if I got 50K right now, a year's salary, instantly, banger. I'd be happy. I'd be feeling blessed. 300K for a lot of people is life changing completely. And you saw the results of when you put out 300K out there. Finish. Badass fight that went to decision. Okay fight, went to decision. Badass finish. Badass finish. Badass finish. Okay fight that went to decision. Badass finish. Badass finish. Hell of a fight that went to decision. Badass finish. Good fight that went to decision. And then another badass finish. So do stuff like that, Dana. Like, incentivize your guys, because this is the result we will get when you do. Your guys will go out there and they will kill, because it is tough for you to deny all these people that did amazing money. Take care of them, man. Take care of them. But guys, that's all I have for tonight. Like, share, subscribe, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, you name it. Amazing fight card. Amazing fight card. Loved it all. I am Jose Garza. We are Puro Pinche Sports. We are